Well, yes, wasn't it fantastic? I mean, everybody had such a great time. We put an incredible amount of effort into that. Everybody did. I mean, especially my board members. Absolutely fantastic. Yes. Well, of course. Yes. And say hello to Michael for me. All right. Speak to you soon. Thanks. Oh, hello. Phil Dewhurst, 007GB. Welcome to our gala dinner video presentation, Operation Concorde, our premiere. I cannot wait for you to see behind the scenes and to see all the fun of the spectacular evening we had under the British Airways Concorde. I would like, from the bottom of my heart, to thank everybody who came and supported the evening. We raised over £16,000 for UNICEF, which is nothing short of fantastic. And that's down to you, the members, the attendees that have supported this club from day one. If you're not a member, please feel free to go to 007gb.co.uk and sign up, where you can be part of something bigger than yourself and part of a great community. Well, without any further ado, why don't you just go ahead and enjoy the show? Roll the credits, lock and load, keeping the British end up.
Hi folks, Mark here, Views from Mark, reporting exclusively for 007GB, where today we are in Manchester, just by Manchester Airport in fact, at the Concorde Conference Centre for tonight's 2024 Charity Gala in support of UNICEF. Now, the doors have opened, the drinks reception is currently in full swing. I can hear the string quartet playing in the distance. Everyone is already inside, having a great time, mingling, dressed to the nines in their finest dinner suits and dresses. You can hear there's an active runway by me. We're not going to edit this out. I'm going to invite you to come with me on this journey as we head inside, check out the event, what's going on, have some interviews with some of our guests, some of our stars, and enjoy the festivities. Now I'm joined by some of our special guests here this evening. We've got Ciaran and Matthew from Really 007. Now, guys, welcome, first of all. Can I first off get your first initial thoughts as you entered the room and you saw the setup that we have?
It's an incredible setup, to be fair. I mean, you've got the red carpet, you've got the photography, and the Concorde, the cars. It's electric. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, as Ciaran says, it was amazing to walk in. Obviously, yeah, the red carpet, but then the Concorde in front of you. It was just an amazing, awesome sight, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to have the Concorde, it's another to emblazon your club logo on the side of it, as we have done tonight. But what stuck out to you, or what has hit your eye as you've been wandering around having a look this evening? Which car are you gravitating towards, if you could pick only one that is here?
For your eyes only, the Maroon Lotus, absolutely. It's something about the skis on the back. Even though you never see him actually unbuckle them and use them, it's just something about that setup. It's a beautiful car.
Yeah, that's a really good choice.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed, I've not been over to have a look yet, but Xenia's Ferrari, I think it's a Ferrari, is it? Yeah. Is over there. I mean, wow, what a car, what an iconic scene. I can just hear the music in my mind as well.
I know, that classic scene in the south of France. I mean, all we need is like the Aston with a chilled bottle of champagne.
Whoa.
But
James, you're incorrigible.
I know, exactly, isn't he? So guys, we've obviously got a lot of Bond alumni here this evening. You know, we've got some amazing VVIP guests who are collecting their Lifetime Achievement Awards. Vic Armstrong, Luciana Paluzzi. What are your thoughts on both of them as individuals and their contribution to Bond, cinema, film, and just in general?
Great question. I mean, they are absolute titans of their trade. Vic Armstrong, one of the best in the business, one of the best second unit directors, and one of the best the definitive stuntman, as far as I'm concerned, of the modern era. Luciana, the first Bond girl of her era to actually be a henchwoman and actually go against Bond toe to toe.
Yeah.
So both absolute titans in their own right.
Yeah, I mean, both of them, as well as plenty of others who are here tonight. But Luciana, I mean, Fiona Volpe is one of the most memorable characters in the whole franchise, I would say. Possibly the best ever, one of the best ever female characters, I would say, in the whole. She's incredible, and she leaves a mark on the film after when she dies. It's quite a big moment and everything.
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, please, no, please still watch the film.
You're right. I mean, she set the template for the Bond villain, female villain, hench person. She really did set the template for what we've come to know and love.
You can certainly see where Xena on the top and Electra King followed suit. She was the one who obviously set the benchmark, as Matt says.
Yeah. And then just a word on Vic Armstrong as well, as the Indiana Jones music plays behind us.
Fitting.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking through his filmography and his contribution to not just the Bond. I mean, his contribution to Bond is incredible, but his contribution to cinema in general is phenomenal. Really, he is a legend that I don't think will ever be surpassed in terms of his what he has done and the amount of franchises and people he has stunt doubled for and everything.
Absolutely, and with AI taking over and all this stuff, who knows what is in store for the film industry. So to have an evening like tonight, folks, where we can honour them with a Lifetime Achievement Award, because they've made our memories, like childhood, growing up, in these iconic movies, many of which may make an appearance later in the evening. That's all I'm going to say. But look, guys, thank you so much. Enjoy the evening, and thanks for coming and supporting the club in supporting UNICEF.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, folks, so we're joined now by Kathryn Vinclaire in the Concorde Centre. Kathryn, welcome. We are in front of a White Lotus here, one of the many cars that we have on display. What are you thinking on tonight's event so far?
I'm honestly blown away. There are so many eclectic people here. The amount of knowledge, niche, nerdy knowledge of James Bond in this room. We are all geeking out together, and it's just such a wonderful atmosphere. If you can hear the music behind us, this is extraordinary. The atmosphere here is electric.
You say geeky knowledge. I mean, it's not just Bond, though, is it? Because one of our Lifetime Achievement Award winners, Vic Armstrong, has been part of so many iconic movies. Superman, Indiana Jones. I mean, there is really something for everyone here tonight, do you think?
100%. It's not just the Bond community that are being catered towards this evening. If you're a lover of quality cinema and icons who've, got incredible legacies in their fields in cinema. They're here tonight.
Absolutely. One final quick question. If you could pick one of the magnificent vehicles that we have on display here, and you can only pick one, which would you go for and why?
There's a black Aston Martin DBS just behind us, and it matches my outfit this evening, so I feel it's only polite that if I steal any vehicle this evening, it might be that one. Don't hold that up in court.
No, I think you'll be lucky to get it out of here tonight, to be honest, given how busy it is and how crowded we are with cars.
Quite busy with the Concorde, taking up quite a lot of space as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was in a box this morning. We had to build it in a day, and I think
it's just an Airfix model.
I think we did all right. It looks all right. There's a couple of panels missing, but no, it's fine.
No one's noticing. It's fine.
No one's
covering it up really well.
Excellent, Kathryn. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the evening,
Righto.
and until next time, we're going to carry on keeping the British end up.
Here's to that.
Cheers, folks.
My Lord Mayor, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, pray silence for the President of 007 GB, Phil Dewhurst. Let's have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening to the Lord Mayor and Lady Mayoress of the City of Manchester, ladies and gentlemen and fellow agents. It is an honour to welcome you all here tonight to this, our second 007 GB Charity Gala in support of UNICEF. And what a venue, under the rather impressive British Airways Concorde, G-BOAC, British Overseas Airways Corporation. We're definitely shaken with excitement having the Lord Mayor and the Lady Mayoress of the City of Manchester, Bond stars, our members, friends and families all gathering tonight to support UNICEF, celebrate James Bond and honour our 2 Lifetime Achievement recipients, Mr. Vic Armstrong and the very beautiful Luciana Paluzzi. Whether you are here to catch up with friends by the cockpit bar, get up close and personal with the magnificent James Bond vehicles, or bid on our fabulous range of charity auction items, we are delighted to welcome you to this event and raise a glass together as we enjoy a night of Bond, frivolities, vehicles, dining, music, dancing, and of course, the very best of company. Please browse through the fundraising brochure, by the way. You will find some very exciting auction items in there, and there will be live items on the night as well. I have my eye on a few things. We'll see. You'll find a QR code on the table where you can donate any amount at any time directly to UNICEF through our Just Giving page. Please give generously, of course. Thank you to our sponsors, corporate partners, club members, and on behalf of the board of 007 GB for your incredible support in attending this gala and making a difference. I can just say that Sir Roger Moore would be proud of us all. Now, let's watch a little video about, something called James Bond. Hit it.
Looking for a little peace and quiet? Didn't think so.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
Do you expect me to talk?
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Well, everybody needs a hobby.
So what's yours?
Resurrection.
Look after Mr. Bond. See that some harm comes to him. You have a nasty habit of surviving.
Vodka martini. Shaken, not stirred. Do I look like I give a damn?
To us, Mr. Bond.
We are the best.
Keeping the British hand up.
Good evening, Luciana and Vic. Congratulations on getting your Lifetime Achievement Award.
I'm sorry we can't be there, but our thoughts are with you, and we're going to send you a case of champagne.
Have a wonderful time.
Mr. President, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, pray silence for the Right Worshipful, the Mayor of the City of Manchester, Councillor Paul Andrews. And we want a big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen.
How do I follow all that? And I think it would have been an idea if the Toastmaster, when he was telling us where the exits were, actually did it under Concorde, like an air hostess. Good evening, everyone. I'm honoured to have been invited by the British James Bond Club to represent the City of Manchester and attend the Charity Gala with you all this evening. I believe many of you have travelled from all corners of the UK and from overseas to join us this evening. What the club is relatively new to me. I am aware that the fundraising efforts last year raised over £35,000 for UNICEF and other charities. This is truly remarkable achievement for an organisation that has only been operational for just over a year. Tonight, we're very privileged to be dining under the iconic Concorde, which, as I'm sure most of you know, happens to be a Bond vehicle itself after appearing in the 1979's Moonraker. This particular aircraft also had the privilege of transporting their Royal Highnesses, the late Queen Elizabeth II and the Duke of Edinburgh, on numerous overseas engagements. With Concorde's association with such distinguished icons of British history and culture, I cannot think of a more fitting venue to host this charity gala. As we gather this evening to honour two icons of the TV and film industry, I'd like to invite you all to give generously where you can throughout the evening to raise life-changing funds for UNICEF. I wish you all a very pleasant evening. Thank you.
he was the first person to win an Oscar for a James Bond film, Goldfinger, in 1964. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a huge privilege and honor for me to introduce to you Mr. Norman Wanstall. And let's have a huge round of applause.
Well, welcome to all of you, and I have the privilege tonight to mention Vic Armstrong. And the reason I'm so proud, and to me it's a privilege, because I worked in the industry for many years, and Vic was a legend. And it was always my dream that maybe we could work on the same film together. And I think it's absolutely remarkable that the achievement of this gentleman, and I'm so proud to be here to be able to consider and promote the fact that we'd like to give him an honour. I always think it's very interesting that in the art world, in the science world, and in the sport world, there's always somebody, isn't there? There's always somebody that adds something, that contributes something extra, that reaches the peak. I think it's absolutely great that he's here tonight, and I think what we'd like to do now is to show the result of his achievements.
Look about this name, and that's a real advantage with Vic, because we do. I mean, my wife spent several nights with him by accident.
Close the shutters. We are now impregnable.
Bond. James Bond. James Bond.
Oh, that was great, but my heart stopped.
And to present this very prestigious award, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me huge pleasure to welcome back to the stage your President, Phil Dewhurst, and the Right Worshipful the Lord Mayor of the City of Manchester, Councillor Paul Andrews.
Indeed, a lifetime of achievement. It is my very great honour to welcome Vic to the stage on behalf of all of us, Mr. Vic Armstrong.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much. It's a great honour, I must say. As Norman said, that was another day at the office, and it's been a great office, I must say. I'll just say a few words, if I may. And good evening, obviously, everybody. And I must say it's a surprise and a tremendous honour to be standing here tonight. I didn't expect anything like this. It's fantastic. But first and foremost, I'd love to thank you, Phil Dewhurst, and Simon Firth, and all you guys that work behind the scenes for the James Bond fan club. You know, it's absolutely wonderful. You've invited me and organising this wonderful night. I was thinking about it the other day. It's like 58 years ago. I was a budding stuntman nobody'd heard of. And I was looking for work when a man called Bill Weston, who became a very dear friend of mine over the years, recommended that I go to Pinewood Studios and see if I could get the job he was contracted to do but couldn't because he was busy on a movie called 2001. I duly went to the hallowed Pinewood Studios, which is like Mecca to me, and met Bob Simmons and George Leach, the stunt coordinators, and the movie was You Only Live Twice. And I managed to talk my way into getting hired as a ninja to slide down the ropes from the roof of the volcano, along with a very select band of hardened British stuntmen. So in those days, I never imagined I'd go from a ninja sliding down a 125-foot rope to wearing a tux and walking down the Concorde's famous steps in front of all of you, and being married to my gorgeous wife, Wendy. She's the daughter of George Leach, one of those inspirational stunt coordinators I first met that day at Pinewood Studios. So fate is an amazing thing. The work on You Only Live Twice lasted about 6 weeks, right up until Christmas Eve. So not only was working on a Bond movie financially a godsend, it was also a huge learning curve for me. The networking and contacts I made from meeting all those other stuntmen, and the pure kudos of working on a 007 Bond movie. It gave me so much more confidence when I went out looking for my next job. When you think about it, up until You Only Live Twice, I'd probably only worked on 5 or 6 movies. But now I could call myself a Bond stuntman. And being one of the youngest stuntmen out there in those days, by quite a long way, I started racking up quite a decent resume. Yet, fate dealt me another great hand, though. In 1969, I was working with the racehorses at my father's stables, and I heard the phone ringing, so I answered it, and it was someone looking for me. And they asked if I was available for the next 2 weeks. So I said yes, and they rung off. And in fact, the film work was very non-existent at that time. There was hardly any work in those days. And they said they'd get back to me. That evening, they called and said, you're leaving tomorrow to Switzerland. So I asked what the film was, and they sort of said, well, it's Bond, of course. It's called Her Majesty's Secret Service. I went, oh, great. And they were planning the final battle scene, which was the raid on the Piz Gloria, and they needed more stunt bodies to kill. So I realized then that actually when that phone had rung the first time, the production office just going down through a alphabetical list of stuntmen, and me being A for Armstrong got the first call. If I hadn't answered the phone, if I hadn't been walking by that door at that moment, they'd have gone on to be, and my life and career would probably have been very, very different. I'm a great believer in fate, as you can imagine. OHMSS went from 2 weeks to 3 months. And again, the stunt coordinator was Wendy's dad, George Leach, and I never realized he would end up, years later, being my father-in-law. Financially and experience-wise, OHMSS was monumental in my career. I'd been elevated by now to George Lazenby's stunt double, so now I could go looking for work with 007 stunt double on my rapidly growing credit list. And even to this day, it's amazing what a golden key those 3 famous numbers are, 007. And at that time, I also met the great man, Cubby Broccoli, on that show, which is a wonderful treat. He used to meet us every night when we got off the cable cars and buy everybody a drink, building up the morale. It was a wonderful time. And actually, we should all incidentally raise our glasses tonight to toast and say a big thank you to Cubby, because without him, the world of film would be a far, far different place. I then got a call to double Roger Moore on Live and Let Die, and this time Bob Simmons was the stunt coordinator. And we worked out the sequence where Bond fights Mr. Big, starting on a platform tied to solitaire. Bond cuts himself free, swings down to the ground, and eventually blows up Mr. Big with a nitrogen pellet. It's quite a funny sequence. Everybody loves to see somebody blown up. Again, I'd learned a huge amount about fight choreography and camera placement from Bob Simmons, so I was learning all the way down the line. And then Roger Spottiswoode, an old pal of mine I'd done Air America with, called me and asked if I would be the stunt coordinator and action unit director on Tomorrow Never Dies. So for me, that was the start of the golden era of 007. And during that time, I developed a wonderful relationship with Barbara Broccoli and Michael Wilson, as you see from their little video they sent for us. And I'm very, very proud to say we did create some iconic action sequences, from the crazy BMW motorcycle chase through Saigon with my wife Wendy perched on the handlebars, doubling Michelle Yeoh. Then the remote control BMW car that Bond controls through his mobile phone on Tomorrow Never Dies. To the brilliant boat chase along the Thames with Bond chasing the woman assassin in his jet boat. And then the ski chase through the Alps on The World Is Not Enough, and the hovercraft chase in North Korea, to the beautiful car chase around the icebergs on a frozen lake in Iceland between the Aston Martin and the Jaguar. And I'm particularly proud of this unique sequence, actually, because with the dynamic location and the extraordinary freak weather, warm weather we had, it would be absolutely impossible ever to do again. But the crowning glory, I think, was when Wendy and myself were honored being asked to drive Cubby Broccoli's famous Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud with his famous number plates, Cub 1, at the head of the Bond presentation during our late great Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. It was just a tremendous, tremendous feeling to drive down through the Mall and see all those people and drive in that incredible car. I'd seen it parked outside the admin offices at Pinewood Studio when I was just a budding stuntman, you know, and it was like, wow, times have changed. I could go on all night talking about my pride, going from a 65-pound-a-week ninja to a director being trusted to spend millions and millions of eons pounds delivering sequences that will last on film and in people's minds a lot longer than I will. And as I always say, at the end of a shooting day, the next shot is in a glass. So thank you and cheers, Cubby. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Mr. President, my Lord Mayor, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we now move on to the second of our Lifetime Achievement Awards. And the lady who is going to tell us all about our winner played the character Zora in the second James Bond film, From Russia with Love, before going on to play CIA agent Paula Kaplan opposite Sean Connery in Thunderball. She's also had a cat fight with Raquel Welch when she appeared in 1 Million Years BC and went on to become a star of the Hammer House of horror films. So, ladies and gentlemen, would you please give a massive round of applause to welcome the fabulous Martine Beswicke.
Well, hello. My goodness, what an amazing evening this is. Truly. I mean, I'm going to say it again. I've told lots of people. I walked in here and I went, this is the most beautiful garden full of gorgeous flowers. All of you. It has been an incredible evening. Everybody really did it tonight. You all look fantastic. Men and women. Hey, baby. Oh. It was a pleasure. It's been a pleasure being here. And now, I'm not going to spend too much time, because let's face it, I'm just going to introduce my darling sister, my adored Luciana. And we met on Thunderball. She was the baddie. In fact, she was the one that got me killed. You nasty girl. But she actually, we became friends immediately. And although we don't see each other that often, I absolutely love this woman. She's an amazing woman. And let's face it, this evening, she's here with a broken leg. I mean, really? This is bravery beyond. So, a big cheer and hello to my darling, brave, beautiful sister. And so, without any further ado, I just want to say that this, what we're about to see, is a wonderful taste of who you are and who you have been and who you will be and who I adore. Okay, and this is a little video of you, my darling. I love you.
Fly here often?
Do I make you nervous?
Vanity has its dangers.
Vanity, Mr. Bond. Something you know so much about.
My dear girl, don't flatter yourself. What I did this evening was for king and country. You don't think it gave me any pleasure, do you?
course, I forgot your ego, Mr. Bond. James Bond, who only has to make love to a woman and she starts to hear heavenly choir singing. She repents and immediately returns to the side of right and virtue. But not this one. What a blow it must have been. You having a failure.
Well, you can't win them all.
That was a personal one. It is my very great honor to invite up to the stage our Lifetime Achievement Award winner, family, Bond girl, brilliant talent, Hollywood icon, Italian superstar, nonna, mother, wife, friend to everybody, Luciana Paluzzi.
I didn't expect to be moved. I really didn't. I thought, this is a very fun evening. I didn't know that it would bring tears to my eyes. So give me a moment and be patient with me because I didn't write anything down. But Philip told me I have an hour. So don't worry about it, just sit down, relax, because I'm going to be here for a while. First of all, I would like to acknowledge all the work that Philip has put into this. We have become fast friends, and he's like my family, and I love his wife and his children. Emmeline, you have really a jewel there, but you have something really special with your wife, I have to say. So anyway, as I have not written anything down, I just want to say, this is like, somebody recently said to me, the Bond fan club, the Bond whatever, is like a gift that keeps on giving. And it's true, because look at tonight, I mean, at my age, to have still so many people that I feel that are like friends, because why would you come all the way here, except for Mr. Armstrong, of course, but why would you come all the way here unless you like me? So I feel very honored, and I want to say thank you to all of you. Martine said that you all look beautiful, and she took my speech away also. But I want to say that I love my Martine. We are like sisters, and it's true. And the Bond is like, family is like a little club. And there are so many that I love in the family. And Carol is another one that is Carol Ashby, obviously, is somebody else that I really adore. And I have to say thank you to Barbara, that I know since she was 3 years old, because she came to visit in the Bahamas where we were shooting. She came to visit her family, and my son at the time was the same age. So she has taken over brilliantly from her father, who I loved beyond, because he was, as Mr. Armstrong said, a really lovely human being, and always kind, and always caring, which is a really wonderful thing. So again, I just want to say thank you, Philip, because you did an incredible job, as usual. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for coming, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention a person that I love more than life, and he's standing right there. My husband, Michael. He's responsible for taking me away from my acting career because when we met, I was already 42 years old, so I wasn't a baby. We were married 44, and now you know exactly how old I am. So he traveled a lot for his work, all over the place, all over the world. And I said, well, if we get married and I am in Japan making a picture and he is in Peru doing what he's doing, which was, well, his career is very long. You can Google him because it's very impressive also. So anyway, I just thought that I had to be with him. And I got married because I never had really a life as a wife. I had a son, and thanks to the brief first husband adventure, very brief, I had a son, but now I'm blessed with 2 grandchildren. Maria is there. Maria, get up and say hi. I'm so proud of you. And Lorenzo is there. And Lorenzo... And I'll tell you, in these days, since I got here, if I didn't have them to take care of me with my broken, fractured ankle, I would have really been in trouble. But back to my Michael, they took me away from the movie business, but he gave me a life that is so full and so happy, and we still laugh together, and we cry together, silly commercials, whatever. I like American football, aside from the soccer, I like American football, and tennis, and so we spend a lot of time enjoying the same things. So thank you for giving me a fantastic life, and I love you so much.
So there are obviously 2 people that couldn't be here tonight. We saw a clip from them. But in addition to the champagne that's on its way, let me know if it's a good vintage, there's 2 gift bags here from Eon. One for Luciana and one for Vic. So yes, these are from Eon Productions. So let's give Eon a big hand as well. Thank you.
Very much.
Well, so come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's have another huge round of applause for both of our Lifetime Achievement Award winners. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Good evening. Yeah, that's what we want, a little bit of interaction, ladies and gentlemen. Right, welcome back and welcome to our live auction. Shh, folks, now this is our single biggest. Shh, guys, please. Thank you. Now, this is a very important part of the evening. We've got some music and some dancing coming up for you a little bit later on, as soon as we finish the auction. Okay, but this is our single biggest fundraising opportunity. Fly high with a Spitfire. Okay, do I hear? I have £1,200 I have in the middle of the room there. 1,300 I'm looking for. Looks like it's going to go to... Oh, you have 1,300, sir. Thank you. 1,300. 1,300 once. 1,300 twice. And I have 1,400 from Phil Dewhurst, ladies and gentlemen. 1,500 I now have. 16 I have. 16 once. 16 twice. Sold Phil Dewhurst, £1,600. Lot number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Drive an F1 car. Start me off, please, at 1,500 quid. 1,500 I have at the middle there. Thank you, sir. 1,600 quid. Thank you, sir. 1,600 at the back. 17. Sold. Gentleman in the middle, £1,800. Okay, let's move on. Now, this is a UNICEF pressed vinyl album release. Vinyl Campaign is a special re-release of 10 vinyl albums pressed in UNICEF's signature cyan blue. Someone start me off, please, with £1,000. I have £1,000. Thank you very much. Do I hear 1,100? Oh, 1,100. I do beg your pardon. Very honest of you, Phil. Thank you very much. £1,200 we now have. Take it to 1,500. We got 1,500, folks. You've got yourself 10 albums, Phil, for 1,500 quid. So, Robbie Williams print, these are works of art, okay? 300 I have, thank you very much. 300 once, 300 twice. Sold. Our second print by the same artist is Arsene Wenger. Yeah, 300, sir, thank you very much. 350, thank you, Phil. 400. £400, 400 I've got. 450. 400 of the bid, 450, 500, 500, thank you, 550, okay, 550, I'm happy with 550, thank you, 600 I've got, sold the gentleman over on my right-hand side, £600, a 007 secret agent attaché case, 200 I have at the front here, thank you very much, 300, sir, thank you, oh, he does that, yeah, £400 we've got, thank you, very generous, 450, 450 I have, 500 I'm looking for, 450 once, 450 twice, sold.
This will be signed tonight. The person who wins this will get to meet Luciana, she'll sign it for you, and you can have a photo with her.
Yes, I've got 400 at the back, thank you very much, sir, £400, 450 we're now looking for. We've got 450 at the front, thank you, 500, sir, 550, sorry? £700, 800, yes? Okay, 900, 9,000, 1,000 quid, 11, 12, 13. Sold, a very handsome gentleman at the front here for £1,300.
So again, you will meet Vic, he will sign this for you, personalize it, whatever. Wendy may sign it too. Vic also very generously gave us a copy of his autobiography, and he'll sign and dedicate that. So that's all part of this lot. And something else I just want to say. The signings earlier today, Vic donated the entire lot to UNICEF from everything he did today. So thank you very much. And I just want to say about Luciana, there's a dog charity in Italy that's severely underfunded, and she's supporting her charity there as well today.
£1,000, sir, thank you very much. £1,100 I've got from Phil. So let's hear 1,200, sir. 1,200. Sold, £1,200. Now, we all know Lego can be quite pricey, so I think we need to start this one off at a couple of hundred quid, don't you think? 200? 200 I've got straight away. 250, please. £250. £500. 500 I have. 550, sir. 6. Yes? 600. 7? £700. 8. £700 the bid. 700 once. 700 twice. Sold. Gentlemen, over here on my right, £700. I'd like you please to welcome back onto the stage your president, Phil Dewhurst, along with film and media director for 007 GB, Mark Waldridge. Let's have a round of applause for both, please.
Thanks, Matt. Well, Thank you very much for your generosity in the auction. Raising vital funds for UNICEF is obviously something that was close to Roger's heart. I won't wax on about that because we know, but thank you, thank you, thank you. So this wasn't on the official schedule because only myself and Mark knew about it. To be the president is not an easy task. It's enjoyable, it's fun, lots of responsibility, kind of cool. You get hot and sweaty, but I'm not the only president in this room. There are 3 other presidents in this room. And I think I'm correct in saying, well, we do have one absent president that's not here. However, the total will be 40 years experience as presidents between them. And that would be the presidents of the German, the Swiss, and the French club. My friends Marcus, Luke, and Andreas. Now, Andreas cannot be here. However, the new German president is here, Marcel. So if I could ask the 3 of you to stand up. Luc Leclerc, president of Club James Bond France. Marcel Bauer, president of James Bond Deutschland. And Marcus Hartmann, the president of James Bond Schweiz. Now, we often say that it's an unsung job. I would like to recognize the service that you have given and that you're about to give. You are going to be here accepting on Andreas's behalf. We have a Presidential Medal of Service that I would like to bestow on the 3 of you. Just like that. I would like to bestow upon the 3 of you for the hard work that you have done for 22 years, 12 years, and 10 years, but not, because you're the new guy. So please welcome to the stage Luc Leclerc, Marcus Hartmann, and on behalf of Andreas Part, Marcel Bauer. Congratulations, Mr. President. Mr. President. Thank you very much. Mr. President. It is a hard job. We're volunteers, but they are just as passionate as me. I will let them say a few words. Now, they didn't know about this, so be brief and to the point.
It's a real pleasure, of course. Thank you, guys. It's to be under this French plane. It's a real pleasure, and thank you for this beautiful party. I'm so pleased that today you have a club in England. Oh, it's a real pleasure. God bless you. God bless you.
Oh. That was the French way. Very efficient, very suave. I don't like surprises. This is a very nice surprise. I don't like to give a speech now, but I'm very honored to be here to share the stage with my fellow presidents. Thanks for having us. Thanks for you being here, supporting this very good cause. And I'm looking forward to many adventures with all of you, with my fellow presidents. And I'm sure we're going to achieve great things together. And what is better to have fun and even support good causes. So thanks for that. Thank you, everybody. Have a very lovely evening. I give on.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Phil. Thanks a lot, 007GB. I will hand this to Andreas, of course. As you said, I just be president since 5 weeks, 6 weeks, after taking over 10 years of good work from Andreas. It's crazy what you've achieved after not even 2 years. It's crazy. I'm really honored to be here. My first event was a British club. Yeah, my both colleagues said everything, so I would say let's end this great night on a bang. Thank you. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I think you've all been fantastic. Thank you for your generosity. We hope you've enjoyed this evening, the festivities, the videos, the Lifetime Achievement Award winners, all of our stars. I think now is the perfect chance to just invite you all to relax, kick back, and then enjoy a dance or two. Thank you very much indeed. On behalf of myself and the rest of the board, thank you.